Well, welcome to the spectacular Worship Rally dig site. I am so excited about this kind of fantastical representation of what an archaeological dig site looks like, because this is going to be so much fun to bring to life in our churches. Some things as simple as filling the entire stage floor with drop cloths or with tan-colored bed sheets will bring to life this idea of digging down into the sand and the dirt. And then we've got all kinds of buckets and tools from years past, maybe even from last summer's concrete and cranes that you can bring back to life. And then we have wonderful things hidden, all kinds of treasures that look as if they're buried in the sand, which are really just outdoor pots and terracotta pots for plants and all kinds of odds and ends that have just been smashed, broken into big pieces, and then you lay them down in the right against the drop cloth, and it looks like they're really buried in under the ground. So all kinds of things that you can do to bring this to life, including this phenomenal painted backdrop, which is actually 3 different backdrops layered on top of one another to give you this depth and an immense feel of the scope of what we're doing here in Israel for our dig site. So you'll find these different backdrops available to you on the Decorating Made Easy DVD-ROM. You'll start with the sky backdrop. It's the one that's the furthest in the back. It's painted directly onto 4-foot by 8-foot sheets of 2-inch thick rigid insulation foam with some toppers added on top to give us a 12 feet height at its highest point. And on the back, we've simply put a big 5-gallon paint stick with duct tape across it to hold it in place so that it doesn't tip forward or go anywhere. The next layer is traceable art from the DVD-ROM, and that's where you get this great mountain backdrop with the village that's tucked in over here. And then the foreground is yet another layer traced onto 1/2-inch foam directly off of the DVD-ROM. It's projected into individual panels, traced it out, and then painted. About 3 different painters worked together to create this incredible backdrop, and you see that when you apply just a few great paint techniques, you can have this beautiful perspective of a dig site that kind of surrounds you for your worship rally area. And then there's some great easy things you can do, like this tent that's made out of, I think it's 1 1/4 or 1 1/2-inch PVC pipe that's spray painted with a simple teal colored fabric. I'll give you one little tip. If you will take the length of your fabric and then cut it in half, use that top part here on the front side of it, and then turn that fabric around, because usually fabric is only colored on one side, right? So we just separated it, taped it right on the back so that it looks teal from the front and from the back as well, and not that whitish color. Then we filled our dig site with all kinds of tools, with brushes, with pickaxes, with shovels, with all kinds of great odds and ends pottery that you probably have lying around somewhere, whether it's in your office or it's tucked away in your garage. There are all kinds of treasures that will help you bring the feel of an archaeological dig to life. And I wanted to show you one more great little trick, which is to find some burlap bags. You can make them yourself, of course, burlap bags out of burlap sheets, but these were actually already made burlap bags that are stuffed. You can use cotton batting, fiber fill, newspaper, crumpled up brown paper. You can even use scraps of fabric to stuff them full, and then you stack them to give a great hint, kind of like what you would have outlined a trench or a dig site in, to give you a little bit of a walled barrier. And I think it really does the trick of helping it feel like the backdrop keeps extending right into the stage of your worship rally. So all kinds of wonderful tips and tricks are available to you in the Decorating Made Easy book to help you bring the worship rally dig site to life in your VBS.